Lads, welcome back to a brand new video on the channel, and in today's video we're going to be watching Blades fans reacting to the 2-0 defeat by Wolves at Bramall Lane. It was an extremely bad start to the season with us being 2-0 down after 6 minutes, but this is not my reaction video. I've already done that. If you want to check it out, there'll be a link up there somewhere right now. But I'm going to pass you on to some other Blades with some other opinions. Hope you enjoy.
You look forward to something so much, and then just a few minutes in, hopes and dreams dashed. That's very much what it felt like after looking forward to the first game of the season with Wolves taking that early lead. But I want to try and remember something. It was Wolves who were playing, pretty much a settled Wolves side. They brought Marçal in, and yeah, sure, they were playing Traoré in a slightly different position. He still saw a lot of the ball, wasn't quite as dangerous as he's been in the past, but still manages to get his shots away, so strong, always dangerous. But in reality, this is a Wolves side that know their roles, and they're a good side. They're probably a top 6 team. This isn't, like the beginning of last season, Bournemouth, who we now, of course, know after being relegated, were a much poorer side. So the Blades have lost to a very, very good side. And realistically, second half, we looked a lot more like the Sheffield United we've come to know and love since Chris Wilder took over. But, and I know everyone's going to say the same thing, it's key areas, the final third, the final ball, and that striker that can create something out of nothing. We don't have that. I'm very confident, because Alan Knill and Chris Wilder are very much aware of this issue, that it will be resolved, probably after the Burnley game, and that fundamental issue will be taken care of, because we create chances, but sometimes we need just that final third, that incisive razor-sharp pass, that man who can create something from nothing, that little bit of magic. The ball that was drilled in low, and Billy Sharp sort of very difficult chance, actually managed to stab it over. Perhaps it is just a striker that had a different positioning in the first place that turns that in, or backheels it, Kanu style, one for the teenagers, that takes that kind of chance. Who knows? But I know one thing. I have faith in Chris Wilder and Alan Knill. It's not a disaster. It's one game. And the way I'm looking at it, it can only get better.
So football is back. First match at Bramall Lane. First match of the season against Wolves on TV. Felt semi-confident about this one. Took 4 points off them last season. Wolves have had no pre-season. Wilder was bigging us up beforehand, saying we're ready, raring to go. Personally, I was still slightly pessimistic, and I thought about maybe a 1-1 draw. Wolves are a good team. We overperformed last season a lot, so I thought 1-1's probably a more accurate result. The ref blew the whistle, and what followed was about 6 minutes of complete madness. O'Connell, one of our best players last season, hasn't played pre-season, been injured, thrown straight into the starting lineup, and he was at fault, I'm afraid, with the goals. Should have been in the England squad based on last season's performance. Southgate was in the stands, probably didn't like what he saw. The first goal after just 3 minutes, Lunny goes to make a challenge, commits himself to the challenge on the touchline, doesn't pay off, player beats him. O'Connell's tracking back, looks back, sees his man, then seemingly forgets all about him, and Wolves score their first goal. Within a couple of minutes, it was 2-0. So from a corner, O'Connell again, some reason pushes Ender down, I'm not sure why. Then doesn't even really jump, and Wolves player heads it in for 2-0. After that, we seemed to rattled, didn't seem to be able to compose ourselves again. A couple of the silly bookings, which I think was really born out of frustration. Could have done without those, really. And Wolves knew we wouldn't score 3 and just sort of dropped down again, really, and took the time. Set pieces, absolutely awful. Couldn't beat the first man, or we seemed to, from the corners, just float the ball in as though it was goalkeeping practice. Absolutely shocking. Positives, though, Berger, McGoldrick, some decent cameos from them. Fleck unlucky with his shot that hit the post. And in the second half, when we sort of finally got our game going, we started doing a bit well down the right. We had that nice little triangle with Lunny, Baldock and Berger. That seemed to be doing well, but then the end product was a shocking cross. On the other side, again, used to O'Connell overlapping loads of times. That's usually what we do in the first half of the match. I think he overlapped once in the game. I'm not sure what's happening there. But I'm guessing it was tactics, but it just seemed like he didn't really fancy it. It's very unlike him. Lots to criticise, but let's just remember it's the first game of the season. We always start slowly under Wilder, but then we always, as you know, we never do very well. First game of the season, don't panic, Blaze. Some of the stuff I've seen on social media is ridiculous. Wolves are a good team. Let's not forget that. And really, we overperformed, like I said, in every area last season. This season, we just focus on beating the likes of Villa, Palace, Fulham, Brighton. They're the teams we need to be beating. Anything 17th or above is a win, really. Let's not forget that. We are missing the fans, though. I'd say. I think we saw that after the restart last season, and and against Wolves, missing that 12th man. But next up, cup match. Give the fringe players a run out, and some of those players come back from injury. And then we get revenge on Villa for the ghost goal. So let's see, hopefully we'll bounce back and keep the faith, Blades. We're going to do well this season. We're going to stay up. It's one match. Just get over it, learn from it, and come on the Blades.
Hey, Nick. Hey, fellow Blades fans. Robert here from the U.S. With another match reaction for you. New Premier League season, playing Wolves. I'm feeling really positive. I, like Nick, was predicting a 0-0 game. Maybe one goal to decide it either way. And wow, then that first 10 minutes happened. Really shocking. Wasn't expecting that. I feel like that was not Sheffield United football. I feel like the team let themselves down there, just lost focus at the beginning of the game. Two easy goals for Wolves. One missed tackle by Lundstrom created a 3-on-2 that Egan, O'Connell, Ramsdale couldn't deal with at all, and I don't blame them. It was back with that missed tackle. And then the goal in the 6th minute from the corner, very preventable. I think that we could have and should have gotten up and blocked that cross from coming in. And then Ramsdale, little lackluster on the defense from that one. But after those 10 minutes, we finally settled in. We really got into our rhythm, and the rest of the game looked like a regular Sheffield United football game. We were solid defensively. We attacked well. We had a lot of possession of the ball, switching it back and forth, getting some crosses into the box, winning a lot of set pieces, be it free kicks, be it corners. But like last year, we struggled to score. And I think that's something that Chris Wilder and the team are going to have to work on. Today, I think it's less the fault from the strikers. Billy Sharp, McBurney, I thought they were both decent going forward. But I think it was the team as a whole just weren't creating good chances. They were creating chances, just not good ones. A lot of that comes down to Norwood. Did not look good from set pieces, delivering free kicks, delivering corners, just made a lot of mistakes there. And then the rest of the team until the last 15, 20 minutes, once we got McGoldrick on as an extra striker, once we got Berger on, it wasn't until then that I really thought, okay, we can get a goal. We can come back and, get a goal, get 2 goals and tie this thing up. But till that point, it just looked like we were out there playing the game. And it just wasn't inspiring. And I wrote a lot of notes down, but in the end, the story of the game was 10 minutes of awful football, 80 minutes of solid defensive football with some lackluster finishing. And that's what we got to work on going forward. I think personnel-wise, I feel like Ramsdale had a good first game. Unfortunate to let in those 2 goals, but he made a couple other good saves and looked somewhat decent in between the posts there. Defensively, Egan was good, O'Connell was good, Basham was good for the most part. I think he was definitely the one you take off when we switched to the back 4 to put more pressure on at the end of the game. Midfield wise, Fleck had that really good shot that went just off the far post. Unfortunate that couldn't have gone in, because I really think that would have swung the tide and we could have gotten that second goal to equalize. But he looked really good. Enda Stevens and George Baldock weren't inspiring. They kind of lacked a little bit of the finesse in that final cross into the box. Once Berger came on again, I thought he was good. Norwood, good on the field during the play, passing the ball, but just not good from set pieces. And then, up front, Chris Wilder needs to put somebody else in the striking pair. It should not be Sharp and McBurney, because I don't think, to my recollection last year, that they ever created a goal between the 2 of them. It was always once McGoldrick came on or Mousset came on, or somebody else had to be up there with either of the 2 of them. So I'm hoping these things moving forward, we can get better. Unfortunate way to start the season, but a lot of promise there once the rest of the game went on. And then the last note I had here, Adama Traore is not a right wing back. Holy cow, he was useless for the first 60 minutes. until they finally moved him up once they got really solid back defensively. That was when I felt threatened, was when he was up top as the winger, as the striker. Didn't feel like he did much as the right wing back. So Wolves, if you're listening, don't play him there, or do, and we'll take advantage of that for the rest of the season. So anyways, best of luck to the team. Hope to give you guys, again, some more views as the season goes on, more match reactions, and yeah, stay in good, Nick.
Hi Blades. Well, start of the new season. Mike Smith here reporting from a warm, sunny Cyprus. What can I say about the match? Not a lot, because there wasn't a lot in it for us. 6 minutes and we're 2-0 down. The first goal, that was definitely the fault of Lundstrom, because that's what he did. He lunged for the ball. He didn't try and tackle it. Unfortunately, that left 2 men at the back and we didn't stand a chance. Wonderful cross, Jimenez there, bump, straight in the back of the net. What can you say? 2 minutes later, he had a second chance. Fortunately, Ramsdale got a hand to it. 6 minutes on, corner. Came over, Sasse completely unmarked, whack, back of the net. Ramsdale again, didn't stand a chance. The first half, we did absolutely nothing. We passed the ball out a little bit, and the minute we created chances, and then we gave the ball away. Wolves completely shut us down. We were lacklustre, we were sluggish, we didn't communicate. So I would imagine that at half time, Wilder had a few things to say. He came out looking good, but then we slipped back into our own ways. It wasn't really until the 51st minute, when Fleck hit the post, that we had our first real chance. Again, on 57 minutes, Sharp ran down the right hand side, crossed the ball, and Lundstrom missed the ball again. Well, that was the story of his night. We had McBurney had a little header that was over the bar. On McBurney, he got a yellow card against Jimenez, which I don't think was his fault. He got the ball, and I think it was the other way around. Mike Reid decided different. What's quite quirky is that Jimenez scored 2 goals and also gave us 2 red cards. Hey ho, so it was a good night for him. I'm not quite sure what's going to happen. Hopefully they will pick themselves up. We've almost started where we finished off last season. I would imagine it's very difficult playing in a stadium with no crowds. Especially people like Sharp, they like applause as well as getting shouted at. So it's got to be hard, but saying that, it's the same for both teams. But onwards and upwards. Next match away, Aston Villa, Villa Park. Who knows what will happen? Villa were lucky to escape relegation, but escaped it they did. So there we go. So I will sign off from now and say UTB.
Look at that ping from Norwood. Makes other teams look no good. We've got a team full of leaders. Alan Hill, Chris Wilder taught us. Yeah, there was us on the tour bus. Look how many goals Billy scored us. It's beautiful downtown Bramall Lane. We are the boys from Shore.